Hey guys, sorry about the delay tonight. We had a couple people logging in a little bit late from across the country, and I was working on a couple sound issues. So we're going to kick it off. I am excited to get to spend the evening with you guys. Thank you so much for just taking a few minutes out of your busy lives and schedules. If you're anything like me, it feels like the kid gauntlet to get to these webinars and these evenings together, but it's worth it. So I'm excited to spend the next few minutes with you and to be able to be the one that actually gets to share something that has radically changed our life. And what we're going to be talking about tonight is something that is all about the little things that each one of us, I know we have moms, primarily moms listening, we have some dads listening as well. And what we're going to talk about is the little things that we do every day. Like, for instance, in this picture even, this dad playing with his daughter, and just that little bit of time and that investment spent will affect one day how she raises her family and how she views life. And the reality is that what we do each day as parents, it actually does affect our kids tomorrow and how they live in the future. And I know that's why you're listening right now. I know that you have a desire to see that your kids be healthy, happy, and successful, and you're looking for simple solutions to do that. My name is Jenni Oates, and as I said, I'm just super excited tonight to get to spend the next couple minutes with you and introduce you to Shaklee and the effect that it's had on me and millions of other people's lives for nearly 60 years. Shaklee Corporation is actually the #1 natural nutrition company in the United States, and it's one of America's most trusted brands, which is why myself and my husband, as a mom and a dad, we've chosen to partner with this company for our children's health and also for so much more for our future. And what our company offers is better health for everyone and a better life for anyone. And for the next few minutes together, we're going to talk about how Shaklee might help you achieve what you want in your family's health and also in your life right now. So I want to first introduce you to, or show you a little bit about why I got introduced to Shaklee, I should say. So I was first introduced to Shaklee as a Division I soccer player in college. And as a collegiate athlete, I looked the part. I was healthy on the outside, but I was struggling silently with several health concerns from an eating disorder that I'd had in high school. And so I looked healthy, but I was struggling. I was passing out in practice, and I was struggling tremendously with this. And I was introduced to Shaklee because my future husband, I met him, and he shared Shaklee with me because he was coming off an experience with his family where one of his older brothers, they had found 38 tumors in the whites of his eyes. And the top oncologists in the nation said nothing medically speaking would work, and chemo, radiation, and surgery would not work. So with literally his life on the line, my mother-in-law said, what do I do? And he said, if this is my son, I'd find the best natural alternative and just pray that it works. So they went on a rampage to find the best natural alternative, and that is what led my husband's family to Shaklee. And in a year and a half of changing his diet and getting on Shaklee, all 38 tumors disappeared. So when my husband met me, he knew that it would work. He knew that it would work for the digestive issues and the other health issues that I had. And I'm happy to say that as skeptical as I was, as much as I said I don't need that, I eat healthy, and I take my Flintstone vitamins, I have for years, I tried it. And because he asked me the question, how's that working for you? And the reality was what I was doing wasn't. It wasn't working, or I wouldn't be in pain. I wouldn't be chronically sick. I wouldn't have all the issues that I did. So fast forward, we got married and had 4 kids in 6 years, and each one of those children have been raised on Shaklee, and we are so blessed to have healthy, happy, successful children who are growing in that, being able to build their immune systems. And our family went through just multiple different life hurdles, some different losses that we experienced between job losses and as well as the most tragic was a loss of our infant son to sudden infant death syndrome. Years ago. And obviously, as you can imagine, that put our family on a completely different course where we were desperate for change and we were open to all options. So we took an honest look at Shaklee. On the health spectrum, they'd never failed us. For years, for almost a decade, we'd had our family on it. We saw the difference in Shaklee. So, you know what, with being desperate, we said, you know what do we have to lose? We have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So we jumped into Shaklee with all that it had to offer and shared these solutions with other people and other moms and dads across the country who also had kids that wanted to get healthy and families that wanted to change their finances. And we were the first in the company to finish the fast track program, earning 6 figures in our first year. And we've had a car and been able to travel free with Shaklee every year with our family as a family vacation. So it's been phenomenal. Our Shaklee effect has just continued to grow. But tonight, it's really about you. What is it that you want? What is it that caused you to want to hop on this call when a friend shared it with you? Or maybe you saw the link on Facebook or somewhere else. But my question for you would be to think about tonight is, where do you want to be in the next year even? Maybe the next 5 years or 10 years. I know sometimes it's hard for us to think that far down the road, but where do you want to be with your family? Where do you want to be with your children? And one thing I want to encourage you, especially if you're a mom listening, is to leave mom guilt at the door. All of us struggle with it. If you're a mom, when you're working, you feel like you should be playing with your kids. When you're playing with your kids, you feel like you should be working. And when it comes to health and other topics surrounding our children, there's a lot of guilt for us as parents a lot of times of thinking of all the things we haven't done that we should have done. And I want you to just kind of take all that off tonight and go, you know what, this isn't about what you should have done or could have done. This is about where you're at right now. Tonight, listening, what is it that you want for the future? And if you want something different, you've got to do something different. And that's truly the question and the crossroads that I came to and that Nathan and his family came to say, you know what, if we keep doing the same thing, we're going to keep getting the same results. So where do we want to be? Where do we want to take our family? But let's get rid of the shame and the guilt, because it doesn't really get us anywhere. It doesn't take us on our journey anywhere. So let's talk about health. How is your family's health? Are you finding that every year when school starts, we're right at that time right now, and the germs are out, that your child is the one coming down with a cold and a flu every single year? Maybe as a mom or dad, you dread the pickup line every day because you're exhausted and you don't feel like you have anything left in the tank to tend to homework and sporting events and dinner and everything that we tend to call crazy hour. Whenever the kids come home and it just feels kind of crazy because you're trying to get through everything. Maybe you're exhausted and you just don't have anything left for them. What about just the balance of life there? What about just being able to be balanced and healthy in all that we do? And I know that this is something that I struggle with, especially as a mom. Sometimes you feel like you're trying to juggle 1,000 balls in the air all the time. And I just don't think there's any harder task than parenting. There's also nothing more rewarding than parenting. I have a 12-year-old down to 6-year-old. And so what makes it harder is, I think, juggling work outside the home, and maybe you own your own business, or you just have a really full life and schedule and you have no flexibility to really do what you want to do. And what about the bucket list? We got to talk about this for a second, because the bucket list, this is something that I think each of us have a secret desire. Maybe that dream vacation we wish we could go on, the lifestyle that we want to live, maybe the house we want to live in with our children, and we have that picture in our head. However, you can't experience your bucket list if you don't have your health. And so we have these specific dreams and desires, but if we aren't healthy, we can't pass those things on to our children. We can't experience them with our children. So this is one of the reasons Nathan and I are so passionate about sharing this, and why you really need to begin now to begin to change that for your future. So for nearly 60 years, Shaklee has been helping people to attain this kind of health that I've mentioned, and the kind of dreams that I've kind of alluded to here for themselves, and for their families. And a lot of times I think we don't even really want to have conversations like this, because it feels so overwhelming to think about making shifts in our life towards a healthier and a better life. And I think this kind of change seems so far out of reach for most of us. But we believe at Shaklee that when you take small positive steps each day, that's when transformation becomes possible. And that truly is what we call the Shaklee effect. And that's what's exciting, is it's the small things. It's the small things that you and I do each day, those small investments we make into our kids, maybe that we make into chipping away at some debt in our budget. Maybe it's small investments and deposits into our relationships that we're in. All of those things that we do, those steps we do daily, they lead to a big change. So when it comes to your health, or it comes to living a better life, the same principle applies. It's just the small steps, the small things that we do daily, they lead to that greater effect. And there's a lot of reasons that people get involved with Shaklee, but I think 3 of the main ones. When people come to us, we really offer 3 main things. We offer the ability to use our products that are scientifically based and experience complete transformation in your health. We also offer the opportunity to share those products and maybe the life-changing results that you're getting with the community of people around you to cover the cost of your products. You can earn a little extra cash spending money, or maybe even enough to cover a second car payment or pay one of the bills that kind of is hanging over your head right now. And then some people that come to us say, you know what, I really want to build. Building is something that I'm interested in, because I want to build a team of like-minded people with the potential to earn a significant income. And the reality is you can do this in your spare time, your part-time, or even full-time. So you get to decide. And whatever that need is, whatever brought you to this call tonight, if your life doesn't exactly reflect everything that you want right now, or for your family, just know that you're not alone. This is where all of us start. All of us start at a place where we have this realization of, I don't have everything I want. I'm not where I want to be, and I want to make some shifts to get there. And I think most people around us want change. I think we all want to have kids that are healthy. We want to set them up for success. And as a family, I'm sure you want to thrive in all aspects of your life. Maybe you want more time together, or you just want to experience life together. Whatever it is, you're not alone. And I just want to point out a couple things here. There is a lot of money that is being spent every year to make our lives healthier. Yet the reality is, out of 38 countries, we're dead last in health. And you can see a lot of people, maybe yourself included, are spending a lot of money on natural health solutions and green cleaning solutions, among other things here. But with all that spending, why is it not working? Why is what we're doing not working to make us healthier? We're getting sicker. So what's exciting about Shaklee is that we are a leader in creating solutions in all 5 of these areas, and all 5 of these fastest growing trends in our industry. We create solutions that work. So this is great for us today and also into the future as these trends continue to explode. So let me just tell you, as a mom, and maybe as a dad if you're listening as well, just a bit more about why our family chose Shaklee and why we feel so confident and so good about giving it to our children. So Shaklee's always been a different kind of company, and we're founded on principles. Dr. Shaklee founded us on the principle, the golden rule: treat people the way you yourself want to be treated, and success is going to come to you. He also taught that you should do all that you can to be in harmony with nature. So our founder was an innovator, and he was a philosopher who in 1915, he created one of the first multivitamin supplements in the world. I just think that's incredible. He actually invented the multivitamin before it was even in the dictionary. So his whole concept was, he believed that nature holds the answers to a long and healthy life, and that science could actually unlock those secrets. So his focus was on wellness. It was on keeping people healthy. It wasn't on sick care or crisis or emergency care, kind of like our healthcare system is. His focus was wellness, and that is our focus. We want to help people get well, not just 1 month or 2 months, but for a lifetime, learning how to live a lifestyle and a lifetime of wellness. And in 1956, Dr. Shaklee decided that the best way to get his products into people's hands was word of mouth. On this larger scale, he wanted to spread the word faster, and he knew the best way to do it was people sharing with people. So I wonder how many large corporations you know these days, truly, that operate on principles that include being responsible for the environment and putting people first. Nearly 60 years later, Shaklee is the #1 natural nutrition company, as I said, and we are one of America's most trusted brands leading this industry. And 10 years ago, we were purchased by Roger Barnett, and Roger is a leader with vision. He is an amazing man who believes that one person at a time, Shaklee has the ability to make a difference in the health and well-being of people on a global basis. So his vision is huge, to really impact people's health on a global basis and really help ensure the future health of our planet. So as I said, our mission is really simple. It's better health for everyone and a better life for anyone. And this has really been a part of our DNA since the very beginning of our company. And not only is our philosophy different, the products are different. So everything that Shaklee creates, it's always safe, it always works, and it's always green. That's what really attracted me to the company as I dove in to see more about why this company is different. There's a lot of stuff out there. How do you know as a parent what to use? You can be sure when you're using Shaklee, a couple things here, that these pillars don't change. This is what the company's been founded on, and it's never changed. Shaklee uses science to unlock our secrets. We don't use fads. We don't chase clever marketing. They do over 100,000 quality tests annually. So quality, safety, and the fact that it works, those are our key components of everything. Shaklee has over 100 scientific papers, 90 of which are in peer-reviewed publications. They have invested over $250 million in research and development. So instead of putting their money into marketing and other type things, they put their money, and have put their money for 60 years into research and development to make sure that there are clinical studies to prove that the products do what they say they're going to do. And that's very different. Most companies don't have a single scientific test, don't have a single publication, and they ride the wave of fad science. There's a lot of stuff that you can find online that says it's science, but it's not real research or scientific publications. Something that I really loved and was attracted to as an athlete is that 121 medals have been earned by Shaklee-powered athletes. So the reality is, if it's safe enough to pass the Olympic drug testing, which a lot of products aren't, you would be very surprised how many Olympians have been stripped of gold, silver, bronze medals because of being tested positive for drugs when they weren't on drugs at all. They had high levels of mercury or other things in their system because of protein powders and different things that they were taking from local vitamin stores. So this is why this is very serious. We don't want to be trying to do something for our health and then filling it with junk and putting all this stuff in our body, and you just don't know. Again, you're reading labels at most of these stores, and there's nothing to back it or to prove that it actually does what it says it's going to do, or that it's actually safe and pure. With Shaklee, you have that guarantee. So I'm going to switch gears here for a second. I wanted you to know why we chose Shaklee, but I want to just spend the next couple minutes really talking to you as a parent about how to build the immune system. Because I think if you can kind of understand it, and I'm going to give you a really silly illustration, but if you can understand how this works, I think it's easy enough to even teach your children. My kids have watched this, they have listened to it, and when they heard it, they owned their health. They said, "Oh, Mommy, that's why you tell us to do this. That makes so much sense." And we went hiking this weekend, and we were hiking, and they were talking about this. It got brought up because they knew I was doing the webinar, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you'll see the little characters in a second." So if you've seen the Star Wars movie, The Empire Strikes Back, there's these bad guys they're huge metal monsters that are walking in the desert, and there's a force field protecting the good guys. So I want you to kind of imagine the force field being your immune system. The metal guys are the germs, the bacteria, the fungus, the parasites, and all the little things that are trying to attack us and kind of blow out our force field. So that's kind of the picture I want you to have in your mind. But I'm going to give you a silly little illustration. Again, if somebody's listening that's a scientist, I'm so sorry if I offend your your intelligence with this example, because it's just a way that's helped myself and my children to understand something that can sometimes be complicated. We're just going to kind of uncomplicate how this thing works so that you have a silly way to remember it. So I want you to meet the cast of characters in a play. So I'm going to show you a play in just a moment, because I don't think science has to be confusing. And the first character in our play is Macrophage. And Macrophage is a big eater. Think of him as a Pac-Man with teeth, basically. And his job is he's an ID checker. So in other words, he goes all throughout your system to make sure that what's in your system should be there. And if it's not, he's going to yell about it. He's going to scream and holler and make this big stink, because he wants to make sure that the bacteria and virus that try to hide in your system and try to appear like your system, he wants to expose them. And those are the things that make you really sick. So macrophage is super important in our immune system process. And he's kind of like a garbage disposal. Also, he can clean up the mess when it's all done. Our next character is called the T helper cell, and he is the smiley face. He's kind of like the smiley guy is how you can think of him. And what he does is he excites the system to go to war against the enemy. So if you're familiar at all with how AIDS, the AIDS virus works, this is what's so interesting of why AIDS patients struggle like they do, because this is the one cell their body cannot make. So when you see what he actually does in the system, you're going to understand why the virus and the disease does what it does, and how important it is to impact the entire system. He excites the system to go to war against the enemy. So imagine if you don't have a cell telling it to go to war. Your body's not fighting anything. It's not fighting it off. This is a very, very important cell. But T helper, he sounds the alarm when there's danger, but he cannot work alone. He has to have the help of another cell called B cell in order to actually sound his alarm. And this is B cell. B cell comes in with 3 different faces. He's kind of a 3-in-1. He's a scientist, a fireman, and a cowboy. And he's all of those in one. So he's a scientist first. He's kind of like this quiet kind of guy. So if you've ever had a scientist friend or talked to a scientist or seen one on TV, you know they're kind of more quiet and contemplative, and they've got all this information stored up, maybe in their head, and they don't really talk until asked, and they've got tons of information. But what he does here, what B-cell does, is he makes the antibodies that can do all the killing in your system. So it's kind of like the scientist where he goes in his lab and creates this potion to wipe out the bad guys. That's what he does. And you'll see more about that in just a second. Now, T suppressor cell, this guy is kind of like our flower child hippie, and he goes around just singing "Don't worry, be happy" all day. That's what he does. His role is to calm the system back down. So after it got excited, he comes back in and calms it down. And without him, your own system would react like it does to chemotherapy. So the way chemotherapy goes in and kills the bad, but it also attacks and kills the good, that's what would happen if you didn't have a T suppressor cell to calm the whole system back down. It would be so excited that it would turn on itself and start fighting itself. That's what some people have that struggle with when they have like autoimmune diseases or disorders. So T killer cell. This cell is, he's a very unique cell. You can think of him as Rambo. He can kind of do all the jobs. So he can ID check, excite itself, make an antibody, and he can calm itself back down. So these cells are important at different times and different functions. So one of the realities, before I jump into the play here, that I want to show you, those are the characters, is that the body, the main priority of the body is survival. It is always going to survive first. In other words, it's going to send everything it can to the brain, to the heart, to the liver, the lungs, all those really, really important organs, and then your immune system kind of gets the bottom end of the totem pole. It kind of gets the leftovers. So you've got to make sure that you have enough. And the reality is we have a lot of alive, very sick, alive people, don't we? These people, maybe you included, maybe your children, were alive, but aren't really healthy. So these are the things that make up your immune system: vitamins, minerals, and protein. This is what makes up every cell of your body. And your immune system is made up of cells. So when you understand that your body is made up of vitamins, minerals, and protein, you can actually build health. And I just want to throw it out here. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, like oils and other things that people use, that's still symptomatic care. I'm not saying they're not great, but it's just like a more natural form of medicine. Medicine kind of puts a Band-Aid and puts a patch. That's what oils does. Your body's not sick because it lacks oil. It's sick because it lacks vitamins, minerals, and protein. So again, there's a time and a place for things. Those things might be important, but the reality is your cell is not made up of that. It has to have vitamins, minerals, and protein to function and to build health over the long haul. And same with your children. You need vitamins, minerals, and protein. And if you're not getting it from your food, where are you getting it from? I don't know about you, but I talk to overwhelmed moms all the time, and I can honestly raise my hand and say I'm one of them, that I felt like after 1 week of school, 1 week back to school, I wanted to throw in the towel. I was already overwhelmed with lunches, just trying to pack healthy lunches and get it all together every day. And for whatever reason, during the summer, it doesn't feel like my kids eat as much. When they go to school, I feel like they're starving, and I have to pack like 50 snacks for them and try to figure out how to make it healthy. So that's why it's important to make sure that if they're not always getting it from their food, you have some insurance, if you will, that they're getting it. And that's what supplementation is for. That is why we supplement, is to make sure that you just cover your basis, that they're getting everything every single day. All right, so I want to walk you through this play really quick so you can see how this works. So the first thing that happens is you have an intruder bacteria, a parasite or a fungus. He enters your body, and macrophage shows up and says, I want to see your ID card, and I want to see it right now. So this ID card is very, very important. It's actually called DNA. Every single one of your cells and your children's cells has one. It has DNA. And so when macrophage is checking IDs, that is what he's looking for to see if it's an invader, an intruder, or if it's a part of your body. So the invader cell gets a little huffy because he was just checked by the last guy, and he says, oh, I left my ID on the table in my bedroom. You are really wasting my time. I have a lot of things that I need to get going on here. And Mr. Macrophage, he does not buy it. So he says again, I want to see it now, or I'm calling immune system control. So the invader bacteria cell here, he is trying to think quickly, and he blurts out, I went to school with your sister, because he's trying to think of anything he can say to distract him. But macrophage comes to the point where he knows that he knows that he knows that this is not one of the family. He quits fooling around and he knows. So he says, you know what, I don't even have a sister, so get me a T helper cell down here right now. So while smiley face T helper is on his way, macrophage chomps his teeth into the bacteria, and he's hooked on because he's going to diagnose the chemical composition of this thing. Remember, he's got to ID it, and he's got to check it out to see what it is. So now T helper cell arrives, and T helper says, oh my goodness, oh man, we have a terrible bacteria here. We have got to call for a B cell right away. Because remember, T helper cell is the one that excites the system, but he cannot work alone. He's got to have a B cell with him. So he has to be present when there's a foreign invader, but we need the other cells working, the B cell coming in order to activate him. So immune system control sends down a B cell. So he comes down first as a scientist, and he quietly assesses the situation, and he actually knows exactly how to do this thing, but he doesn't do anything. He does absolutely nothing. He just studies. Just like a scientist, he studies and studies, and he researches and he researches, and he does nothing. So T helper cell, he finds this is completely unacceptable, so he's going to hook onto the B cell, and he's going to get him really excited. And when T helper cell hooks on the B cell, he can now sound the alarm. Now that they're together, working together, he can sound the alarm. So if you've ever been on a school field trip with your children, maybe to the fire station, you've walked in and maybe seen a scene like this. They're playing cards, they're in their t-shirts, they're working out, they're just hanging out. And they look like they aren't doing anything until, and it's kind of boring. I mean, your kids are probably like, oh, this is the fire station? Until the alarm sounds. Once the alarm sounds, there's a flurry of activity, and the firemen slide down the pole, throw on their gear, and they race off to fight the fire. And in 1 minute, they're completely transformed. They went from, kind of sitting and hanging out. Hold on a second here. Hold on, guys. I don't know if you... All right, can anybody hear me now? Or are we still fuzzy? Oh, yay, we're back. Okay, I am so sorry, guys. I have no idea what happened. The beauty of technology, my whole computer just shut off, and I guess kicked everybody out with it. So I apologize. We are back in business here. So we're going to pick up here at the firemen. Hopefully everybody can still hear. Okay, so you're at your kid's school, and now the alarm has sounded, and the firemen have gone from nothing to sliding down a pole, throwing on gear, racing off, and they have been completely transformed in just this minute here. So we're going to keep trucking through our little play. So what happens next? This is exactly what happens for B cell, because you have the T helper cell, he's ringing the alarm, and B is now ready to take his info because he was a scientist. He's ready to do something now. But here's the problem. He doesn't. And so in order to get B to do something, T helper cell says, do you know what he said about your mother? And this gets the B cell raging mad. So he takes all the info of what this guy is made up of, and he goes into the lab, comes back with a bomb. He comes back with the ammo or the antibody necessary to blow this cell, this intruder bacteria or virus, to smithereens. So this is where the fireman turns into the cowboy. And after he makes his bomb, everybody gets out of the way. So macrophage lets go, helper cell gets out of the way, and the rockets are launched. So this guy launches all of his rockets, and he blows this cell to smithereens. But what's happened is this quiet scientist who wouldn't do anything at first, he has turned into John Wayne. So now he's ready for the shootout at the OK Corral. He is fired up. He's got all 6 guns loaded. He is ready to keep blasting. So the helper cell says, first I can't get him going, and now I can't shut him up.
So he calls up to immune system control, and he says, hey, guys, I need a T suppressor cell down here right away. So remember, this guy is our flower hippie child that comes in singing, don't worry, be happy, because his role is super important. After the immune system has been excited, he's got to come in and calm B down because he doesn't want him to hurt everyone else. So this Jamaican hippie is saying, dude, you did a really good job today. And he's the peacemaker. He is kind of calming everything down here. And B cell says this. B cell says, he may be gone, but I will never forget him. And at this point in our little play, hopefully that helps you understand, at this point, this is what you get called acquired immunity. And without this, you will keep fighting the same thing over and over and over again. This is why some of the testimonies, the testimony I mentioned and many others that I'll share and you can hear from the person that invited you tonight, this is why it works. And this is why Shaklee supplements feed the body what it's needed to build acquired immunity to fight. And I think one of the greatest gifts that we can give our kids, really long-term, is giving them this gift of acquired immunity, the ability to fight things themselves. And the reality is if we as parents revert immediately to an antibiotic right away when our kids have a bacterial infection or they get sick, or we revert to medicine right away, and I'm not saying that I'm totally against medicine, I say never use it, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is when you choose that right away, the drug gets into the body so fast that the body never has the opportunity, the immune system never has the opportunity to go through the play, like I just mentioned to you. It doesn't make it through all the stages. So your child never gets to a place where the B cell is allowed to do its work, never gets to the place where B cell says, you know what, he may be gone, but he will never come back. And that's what you want. You want your body to say, all right, next time that intruder comes in here, he's out of here right away because I already know what he is and I know how to fight him. So one of the examples of that is with a fever. You know, you've probably heard that fever is the body's way of killing bacteria or germs. But what do we as parents do? As soon as our kids get a fever, we want to give them medicine to try to bring their fever down. Now, again, there's nothing worse than having a sick child. I hate it. Our kids they get sick from time to time, and it's awful. None of us like our children to be uncomfortable or in pain. But look at, these are not my words, look at what this pediatric journal says. The discomfort and fever were reduced more quickly in children who were given an antibiotic immediately. So they were more comfortable. But these children suffered a higher incidence of reinfection. Children who had treatment delayed by 3 days took longer to get better, but showed higher resistance to ever developing another case of the disease. Doctors believe that this is because immediate treatment with antibiotics inhibits the immune system by slowing down the production of antibodies needed to fight off the existing infection. It appears that if the body is permitted to initiate healing on its own, it may be more able to mobilize the defenses required to heal itself in the long run. So that's found in the pediatric journal by tons of doctors, way smarter than I am, who have seen time and time again where administering antibiotics too quickly, it hindered the body's ability to initiate healing on its own. And it caused these children to suffer a higher incidence of reinfection. I know that we don't want that. Once our kids go through it once, we don't want them to get it again. So let's take a look at what Shaklee has to offer. We have solutions that are life-changing and have been changing moms and dads' lives literally and their children for 60-plus years. And I get so thrilled to be the one to tell you about this. Truly, I feel like it's Christmas. For some of you who have been desperate for something, I don't know exactly the situation that you're in with your children, but from all the different parents that I talk to, from, you know, just common colds and allergies and things like that to such other severe things, each of us deals with this on different levels, and we're all looking for those solutions, and Shaklee has that. So we're going to primarily be talking, obviously, in the next couple minutes, I'm going to show you the specific solutions that Shaklee has for your children for how to build their immunity. But I want to briefly just show you all that Shaklee has to offer. So in addition, in each of these 5 areas, we take the best natural products and we put them into regimens that work for you. And we're going to talk about a couple of these a little bit more in depth. But if you're here tonight and you want to know more about it, you can check it out later. The fact that we have a healthy beauty line that's completely infused with natural minerals and antioxidants and vitamins for your skin so you can get rid of the junk. We all wash our face, hopefully, We're all using skincare products. Why not swap them out and save your health? If some of you are listening as moms, I know maybe you've just had babies, or maybe it's been 4 to 6 years that you've had a child and you're still feeling like you can't get off that weight. We have an incredible healthy weight program called Shaklee 180 that will help you lose the baby weight. It has worked for me. I use this program, and it works for hundreds of other moms and dads that I've worked with. It's an incredible program that's a proven system to help you lose the weight and keep it off. We also have healthy solutions. So if you're listening tonight, again, we're not going to talk about this in detail, but if you're looking for things to help heart health and maybe blood pressure, blood sugar, brain health, anti-aging, you name it, Shaklee has very targeted solutions to help with that, as well as how to detox your home and make it safe for your family, and then some foundational nutrition. So let's kind of talk about, for kids, what does this look like? What is the foundation? And I call this it's our kids 1, 2, 3 foundation. This is what my kids do every single day. They know the drill. So as a parent, number one, you've got to have a foundation. So if you go out and try to build a house on a cracked or broken foundation, it's not going to stand for very long. A multivitamin is kind of like that solid foundation starting place. So Shaklee has several different forms of this. We have chewables called Incredivite, Citraboost powder, Liquil-E, which is a liquid, and Vital-E is a tablet for men and women, or teenage girls and teenage guys. So the great thing is it doesn't matter if your teenager says, I don't like this. You've got 3 other ways to try it. So that's my motto is there is no excuse, because there is absolutely a place for everybody to be able to try and to get started, because it comes in all these different great forms for whatever is right for you. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the multivitamins in just a moment. But the great thing is it covers so much. So start with a multivitamin. Second, you need a vitamin C. Most people just think of this for the immune system, and I'll explain a little bit more about what it does in a second. But Shaklee offers 2 forms. You can get chewable C, which my children called C candy. They still do. We have a jar on our counter where we have like nuts, and we have some organic little candies, and then one jar is completely filled with our C candies. And my kids know every morning they grab 5 of them, or throughout the day. Sometimes they'll even put some in their lunch. If they've got the sniffles or aren't feeling good, they'll put some in a baggie and take it to school in their lunchbox. And they think it's the coolest thing ever, because, again, they have learned how to own their health. And sustained release vitamin C is a really powerful one. This is one of my favorite products that Shaklee has. It's like eating 1.5 oranges every hour for 5 hours. Shaklee understands, because we do science and research on our products, that your body can only absorb so much C at a time. So they put it in a sustained release format, so it's getting it over the course of several hours, and so that your body is absorbing all of it. A lot of vitamin C's that you're going to get even at health food stores, the reality is you're paying for really expensive PP, because it's going right through you. And maybe you've heard me say that before, but it's true. That's the reality. A lot of us are just kind of wasting, literally, our money. It's going straight down the drain because your body's not absorbing it. Shaklee has put this in a way that you and your children will absorb it, just like you would food. So vitamin C is really powerful. It's not just to boost the immune system. Vitamin C is at the core of every single cell. You need it for tissue repair. So if you have little athletes, we have a gymnast and a runner, they take a bunch of vitamin C every day because it helps with tissue repair. I find that my kids complain less about aches and pains. Vitamin C also helps with stress, helps with hormones. So if you have teenagers that are kind of approaching that age, or I have a 11, almost 12-year-old, and man, I've upped her vitamin C. It helps with stress and hormones for sure. So if you've got girls, for sure, this is a big one. And then the third one, the 1, 2, 3, start with a multivitamin, have a C, and then third, have protein. Protein is also that foundational building block that all of our children need. As I said, every cell is made up of vitamins, minerals, and protein, and if you can put the right fuel in the tank, the car will work. A lot of us have cars sitting in our driveway that won't work because we just haven't put the fuel in the tank. Protein is a huge part of that. There's energizing protein, vitalizing protein, which is our brand new protein that's just come out, which is our daily protein, as well as Shaklee 180 smoothies that help. It's a complete meal. If you have a child that maybe even needs to lean up a little bit, this is a great smoothie for them as a breakfast smoothie. Energizing protein is an awesome one also for daily protein as well. So our kids have used for years. We also put the vanilla in applesauce. Our kids tonight, that's a fast food meal for us. We'll throw Shaklee energizing vanilla protein into applesauce, and we call it apple pie. And that's just our fast meal sometimes when I need something quick. So Pick your goal is to pick a multivitamin, pick a C, and have your children on protein, each one of these. So just real quickly, a quick overview of the IncrediVites multivitamin. It is the first chewable multivitamin in the United States that has lactoferrin, which is just, it's actually something that's found in a mother's breast milk, which is so powerful to supercharge your immune system. It covers 23 essential nutrients. So these are nutrients that Shaklee has tested that your children need daily in order to have proper growth and development, to be able to focus in school, to be able to have the edge and be successful, and also have a strong immune system. We've heard a lot about this virus going around right now, and I don't know about you, but I don't want my kids to have it, and I don't want them bringing it home. So right now they are taking a lot of their IncrediVites and vitamin C and protein, any way that I can to get it in them. They're taking extra, and we're making sure that they're getting all of this. The great thing about IncrediVites, it's got almost double the vitamin D that most supplements have. And what I love about it is safe. As a mom, it's naturally sweetened. And it's also gluten-free. There's nothing artificial with flavors, sweeteners, and preservatives. I just challenge you, if your kids are on a supplement right now, even a lot of the gummies, if you really look at the sugars that are in those things, just really look at it. And again, the other question to ask yourself is, what's the research? How do you know that it's doing what it says it's supposed to do on the bottle? And how's it working for you? That's a very big question as a mom we have to ask ourselves, is how's it working for me? If my kid, month after month, is the one that's sick, then maybe, just maybe, it's time to try. Shaklee's completely guaranteed, so if you don't like it, you can get your money back. Again, it's like where I was at with Nathan and I. We said we have nothing to lose and everything to gain because there is a guarantee. So I just want to tell you this story really fast. I want you to picture this little girl. Picture a little girl kind of in a ball with her legs pulled up, screaming. And picture it being super late at night. So her parents would have to wait till morning to call the doctor. And usually her eardrum would burst before they would ever get her to the doctor in the morning. And as a 2-year-old, she had to learn to lay still on the couch so her parents could put drops in her ears all the time. And by age 4, doctors kept saying, you'll grow out of this. It's just ear infections. But by age 4, she never did. And so they needed to put tubes in her ears. And then that winter, it was constant cough, and it turned into asthma. And at 5, she went on multiple different spray inhalers, and they made her really shaky. And they had this kind of time-release formula. I don't know if any of your children are on this. Most of these kind of have a time-release formula. So it would make her unable to fall asleep most nights till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. So if you've got a kindergartner right now, imagine having a 5-year-old who doesn't go to bed till 1 o'clock at night and then trying to drag him to kindergarten the next morning. So she ended up undergoing tons of testing. It was 40 pricks on her arm at first, and then when that didn't work, it was 50 pricks on her back. And she went through all this testing, and then she was told that steroids might help. So they put her on about 6 different types of steroids, and the pediatrician was baffled at Hallie's unresponsiveness to all the drugs that she was on. And then her mom got a nebulizer. This was kind of one of the last steps, and she started 4 treatments a day. They didn't know what else to do, and these treatments went from 20 to 40 minutes a day. And her mom had to sit there and check her pulse every single time. She had to guard it, watch it like a hawk, because they didn't want her heart rate to spike too high, because the doctors had said it could cause a heart attack. So imagine what these parents had gone through from the time this little precious girl was born. I mean, we've all had kids and we're so excited, and then all the troubles and all the trials that kind of followed that. And that didn't work. You know, none of these things were working. And so then they started these 6 antihistamines to see which one was had the least amount of negative side effects. And one night they were woken up in the middle of the night to Hallie's screams. And she was actually sitting on the counter screaming her head off, hallucinating that turtles were snapping at her. And then their life completely changed because a friend told them about Shaklee. And Hallie will tell you that she used to have ear infections. She used to have bronchitis and asthma and colds and the flu every year. But now as a 14-year-old, this is what she says. My mom never has to ask me to take my vitamins and protein because I didn't like being a regular face at the doctor's office. So again, she understood the power of just owning her own health and something that could radically change and impact her life, and it was Shaklee. And their family was so grateful that somebody told them about that. And I want you to see just quickly here that most of us, the cost of a copay typically costs more than 2 months' worth of vitamins. So you can see at the bottom the Shaklee Vitaly compared to other brands out there, the cost per day. So if you were to buy vitamins for one person. Most copays cost more than that for 2 full months. So, and this is our Vitally. This is our multivitamin for adults, or for even, like I said, my 11-year-old takes this and uses this because she doesn't want to still chew vitamins. She thinks that's for our little ones. So this is a great place, a great foundational starting point to get your children on. Now, I don't know if you feel like this, but I've felt like this. We've all probably been through these seasons and cycles, whether your kids are older or you're still in babyland right now. The question is, what do we do as moms? You know, we've just talked about what to do for our children, but what about us moms? We've got to make it through the day too, and we need something that can help us. And this is what I use on a daily basis. It's our Healthy Foundations regimen, and the reality is that 90% of Americans are lacking key nutrients in their diet. So this regimen, it provides the nutritional foundation that your body needs, whether you're nursing, whether you're pregnant right now. This is what I use as my as my prenatal vitamin. And this is what I choose to use every single day. I have a smoothie every day and my Shaklee Vitalizer. And you would have to eat a ton of different foods, such a wide variety of foods, to make sure that you get the nutrients that's found in this one little strip. So from your multivitamin there, you're getting that multivitamin in this strip. Omegas, B, and your C is in here. You're getting a probiotic and so much more. You can check it out, again, on the website of the person that invited you. But this is definitely what I use on a daily basis to help. Now, I want to just touch on this really fast because it's so important with our children. And another way, quite honestly, it's a very simple way that you can have a huge effect on your kids' health, and it's by swapping out your toxic cleaners for Shaklee super concentrated non-toxic ones. You'll save loads of money, and a bottle of Basic H all-purpose cleaner, if you just want a little fun fact, it's equivalent to almost 6,000 bottles of Windex. So when I say it'll save you money, it saves you money. A lot of people say, "How it costs too much?" It doesn't. If you'll just switch your cleaners, you're going to be shocked at how much money you save in your laundry detergent. And not just that, how much health you save. My friend Lauren, she started using Shaklee products because she knew she had to make a change in her family. Her son was struggling with asthma. It was getting much worse. And swapping out all her toxic cleaners for Shaklee's non-toxic ones, she saw a complete improvement in his health. So again, we've seen asthma and allergies. We've seen psoriasis and eczema. Whenever you're sleeping on sheets that have chemicals on them night after night, we've seen a lot of these things just completely disappear by making this one simple swap. So I just want to kind of throw that out there too as parents. And the reality, guys, is that once you experience a health transformation with Shaklee, it truly is the most natural thing in the world to share it with other people. And that's how it was for my mother-in-law, who saw her son's cancer disappear. And that's how it was for Nathan and I. We saw all of our children build healthy, strong immune systems and avoid doctor visits and a lot of severe illnesses. And when you share with others, you get the opportunity to impact other families and transform your own life as well. And I think most of us probably crave some level of flexibility. We want a balanced family and work life. And with Shaklee, it has become a reality for me and hundreds of other moms and dads that we work with. And I absolutely love what I do. And I have to just throw this out there and mention this to you because my family's life has been completely changed by this. And I get to share this with other people. And it's so fun because you can fit your Shaklee business in wherever you like in your busy day. You can make it a full-time pursuit or a part-time thing for yourself. And what you earn really depends on you. And depending on where you decide you want to be, maybe you'd like to get some better discounts. I know some of you listening are thinking about all the things that you want to get your children on, and you want to know how you can pay for it. You want to get some discounts on the products, or you want to put some extra money, or you want to cover the cost of your Shaklee products each month, or maybe beyond that. You want to help out with a car payment or school tuition, or you really want to generate real wealth, the kind that you can pass on to your children and grandchildren. And becoming a Shaklee distributor, that's the starting point to earn extra cash to cover some of those things that I just mentioned. And then beyond that, next is director. And your goal is to reach director as quickly as possible. And when you do that, this is the first leadership rank at Shaklee, and all of our other ranks in Shaklee revolve around you becoming a director with 2,000 points each month and helping other people to do the same thing. So you can see some of the things that you earn here, about a $10,000 annual income. So I wonder how many of you, if it would help you to have about another $800, $850 in your pocket each month. So cover the cost of your products and begin to help offset some of the other bills or other things that are in your life. as well as other things that you can earn at this point as well. And you can, I'm going to fast track on to Master Coordinator. This is considered to be the pinnacle of our business. And to get there, you're generating 100,000 in volume per month, and you've helped 6 other team members at least become directors. And you can see the average annual income is over $200,000. You've got all kinds of great things from monthly car bonus, which you can get earlier on as well. It just continues to increase at this level, as well as fast track bonuses and more. And if this is something that interests you, again, you can kind of dive into this with the person who invited you to this call, but you can just see a quick overview here of all the things that Shaklee makes possible. And you really get to determine your own level of success. And with each rank advancement, you get greater opportunity to earn more. So I just want to quickly show you kind of some real people who have had real success. And this is actually our 1099. As I mentioned earlier, we were first in Shaklee to finish the fast track program, which I've kind of briefly, I haven't really touched on much tonight. But it's everything you saw. You can just do it faster. And this is our bonus check, the month that we reached one of our highest goals in that program. And Shaklee, I just have to say, it's not a get-rich-quick magic bullet. And I'll be completely honest and tell you that it requires hard work and effort. But you're never going to hear me say otherwise. That's just the reality of what we do. And if you treat it like a business, it pays you like that. But the effort that we have put in, it's so rewarding both financially and personally because we've gotten to be a part of real life change. We've gotten to be a part of a legacy of life change and seeing kids and families completely have life transformation. And this is another one of my good friends. Her name is Brooke Thomas, and she started with Shaklee to use the products for one of her daughter's gluten issues. So she called me out of the blue, and her daughter was struggling, and it quickly turned into her wanting to share with others to help pay for her Shaklee habit, as she calls it. And soon after, she saw very quickly the value of building a team of like-minded people, and she was actually able to begin to pay for her kids to go to private school. And in addition to what you see here, she's also earned $95,000 in fast-track matching bonuses by helping other people on her team to do the same thing. Now, I want you to meet a special lady. Her name's Helene Bartz, and she was an 87-year-old Shaklee Master Coordinator who actually passed away in June of 2012. And I just wanted you to see Helene's 1099 for that year. It was almost $300,000. And I just wonder how many other 87-year-olds do you know who have created this kind of wealth by helping others? And then they've been able to pass it on, this amazing gift of a lucrative business that's impacting people's lives, to their children and to their grandchildren. So that is the desire that I have. I want to build something that's generational. And Shaklee is one of the only companies that actually has generational wealth to show for it because we've been around longer than anybody. And lastly, I just wanted you to see some friends of ours, George and Dee Dee Shaw. They're Presidential Master Coordinators. And for the month of April, you can see what they earned, over $200,000. And I think that obviously this isn't everybody's story, but I think it just shows the reality of what is possible with Shaklee. And one of the things that I love about Shaklee is the community. It's more than just a way to earn money. We are such a diverse community of like-minded people who we all share this belief together that these small positive steps that each of us take as moms or as dads, we can make a huge difference in the health and wealth of people around us. And when you choose to build a Shaklee business, you are independent, but you're not alone. And you're going to have support from mentors and other team members in the Shaklee home office. And for those of you who are listening, who are invited by somebody, by our team, you have team support. I know we have people from all over the country logging in, from other people's teams even. You're going to have team support and those people that have invited you here. And our team is actually called Impact Partners, and it was founded by us back in 2009. And each of us comes from very different walks of life. Some of us are stay-at-home moms. We have lawyers, doctors, chiropractors, fitness professionals. We have software engineers and more. But we have a common mission to positively impact the lives of people around us by bettering our own lives. And our team has a track record of success. And I'm sure the team that has invited you has a track record of success and a proven system to follow and coaching to help you be successful. So the question really tonight is, where do you see yourself fitting in? What is it that you really want versus where you are right now? So based on what you just saw and heard, I wonder if there's something that really jumped out to you. What was it that connected with you? Was it Shaklee's Natural Solutions for your children, or maybe for yourself? Maybe it was the financial rewards and the flexibility and the community that Shaklee can offer you. So I spoke a little bit earlier about the fact that most people who join Shaklee, they find that they fit best into one of these three choices. And just to quickly review that, you can use our products and really transform your health. You can share those in a community and a network of friends that are around you to earn some rewards, to put some extra cash in your pocket or pay for your product. Or you can build a team of like-minded people, and you can build in a way that works for you and fits your life with that potential for huge financial rewards and even that generational wealth that I mentioned. So let's look at how you can do that. If you say tonight that, I really want to use the product, I want to find a way to get my kids healthy and my family healthy, there are 12 different ways that you can get free membership. Membership is typically $19.95. It gives you 15% off the products for life. It's like a lifetime 15% off coupon. But there's 12 different ways that you can get that membership for free and get it completely waived. And just until the end of September, so if you're listening tonight, you are listening at the right time, because if you get started with any of these product member regimens that you'll go on and see, you not only get free membership, but you also get free shipping. This is an incredible deal, incredible savings, so get it before September 30th, before the end of the month. And also just the Children's 321 123 Foundation. If you are somebody that says, what, I really want to share. I want to get started with a member regimen, some of the kids' health products, but I also want the opportunity to be able to share this with friends and loved ones and people that have come to your mind right now that need a solution. We don't sell products. We share solutions. That's what we do. And if you feel like you can do that, and that's something that you're passionate about, is sharing solutions with people around you that have true, real needs, and they're looking for help, they need something, you can get a share pack here. The best way to do that, I'd recommend, is a $349 gold pack. It's a $900 value. You get a bunch of the products that we've seen tonight, as well as the ability to earn money all the different ways in Shaklee. And you can also get started with a $49.95 distributor pack plus a product regimen as well. Again, the person who invited you can kind of help you walk through this. This is just a high-level overview here. And lastly, if you're somebody that's wanting to build with Shaklee and really create some income for yourself and your family, this $699 Gold Plus pack is the best way to get started. This is how I got started. This is how everybody on Impact Partners pretty much gets started because of the value of it. And you can see what's in this kit. It's a $2,100 value. You get all of our best products and some of our brand new, just released products here that you can get, as well as business tools, 4 free conference registrations. You get 12 months of a website where people can go and browse online. You get all that for free, as well as so many other things in this kit. This is an incredible place to get started based on the value. And just a quick reminder, overview, if you're wanting to, if you've taken notes or want to remember what to get for your children, pick a multivitamin, pick a vitamin C, and pick a protein, and really help avoid the sickness, the sick days, and think about all, not just the doctor copay costs. Think about the intangible costs of missing work and having to take time off to pick sick kids up from school. We get what that's like. So start off with multivitamin, vitamin C, and a protein as well. And just real quick, lastly here is if you're somebody that's really wanting to share and you're sitting here, your mind's kind of turning with, how do I do this? I want to be able to cover my purchases. This is a hypothetical situation, but if you were to have 10 members, so your mom, your aunt, your sister, whoever, your friend, you had 10 members who were each purchasing, let's say, 100 PV, which is just product value, purchase value, it's just like points. If 10 people were doing 100 points each month, and then you had your own 100, you would cover the cost of your Shaklee products. You make about $250, $280 bucks. So you cover your Shaklee products that you bought plus some. So that's how you can earn back the cost. Again, it's a hypothetical situation. Work the numbers however you want. If you're wanting to build to director and you want to go to that next step, so the share, you can get to 1,000 and cover the cost of your products. But if you do just a little bit more and you get to 2,000 or 2,500 is our example here, and here's a couple ways to do that. You might find some friends that you want to join your team, and as well as you have customers and members that you want to join. When you get to 2,000, you're making around $800 a month. So you can see the big jump from about $250 or $80 a thousand to at $2,000, you're going to make about $800 or more. So there is a great value here of being able to become a builder and not just earn the cost of your product stack, but also contribute to income. So I just want to thank you. I know this was long tonight. I apologize for several of our technical difficulties tonight, but thank you so much for taking time to learn about what Shaklee has to offer your family and your children, and really what the Shaklee effect can mean for your life. And I want everyone listening, I know it's late, especially in the East Coast, but everyone grab your cell phone right now and maybe text the person who invited you tonight. Tell them where you see yourself getting started. Are you more of somebody who's wanting to use the product? Where do you see yourself getting started with that? Do you want to share or do you want to build? And I know it's late in some states, but tell them you'll chat tomorrow even, but text them tonight and tell them where it's at, where you see yourself getting started. Or go straight to their site and visit their site tonight. Make sure to visit the Shaklee personal website of the person who invited you to this video. Or you can, if we invited you, there's ours, or you can check out our team website as well and contact us from there. Someone will reach out to you to help you get started. And I want to be the first to welcome you to the Shaklee family, and we look forward to supporting you on your journey to a healthier and better life and to really raising healthy kids. I just want to say God bless and have a great night. Thanks for sticking with us.